The greater your debt, folks, the greater your debt, the less free you are. And if you don't like hearing that, it's because you must have a lot of debt, a lot of personal debt. And that is why I come on here often and encourage you to get out of debt, to then simplify your life and start to live within your means. Now, I have a guest this evening that can help you escape your debt so that you can shed the banker man's chains, because that is what's holding you down in life. He's not helping you. He's keeping you arrested in life. And you've got to shed these chains, folks. You've got to. And my guest is going to help you do that. I hope you really take notes, and then you go check out his website and give him a call tomorrow morning or afternoon, as soon as you possibly can. The sooner you get out of debt, the better off you're going to be. My guest is Igor, and he's with Debt Solutions, DebtCrisisSolutions.com. That's DebtCrisisSolutions.com. Igor, welcome to Don't Tread on Me. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you for having me, Big John. I'm doing great.
Well, now, Igor, you're located in New York, correct?
Yes, business capital of the world, you could say. I don't think
yes.
for long, though.
Yeah, things are getting rough everywhere, aren't they? And I'll tell you, I've got a lot of listeners that do try to get out of debt and that are out of debt, but I tell you what, the majority of Americans, Igor, are just chained down with so much debt, and you really have a solution for them, and that's exactly why I went out and got you to come on to this show, because we're really a solution-based radio show, and I want you to explain. We only have you this hour, and I do appreciate your time, but I want you to explain how this system that you have works.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of systems out there, and the difference with us is that we allow a person to completely keep their money and end all payments. We don't settle, we don't consolidate, we don't negotiate with these thieves called the banks or collectors. We simply allow a person to keep all their money, and we protect them from the consequences. In other words, the consequences can be the following. It's a civil matter if you simply can't pay your debts anymore. It's not a criminal matter. And if you get sued, they can only come after your money, your assets and your money. Now, that's protected. If you're shielded from those consequences, even if creditors and collectors come after you through court, they cannot do much. They'll be powerless. But they have to get to court first. And we set up many challenges for them before that. For example, we challenged the collectors to provide certain documents like a proof of claim, contract that they ever signed with the client. They can't provide this because they're a third party. So, in essence, this debt cannot be proven valid. And many people don't realize that, and they pay this money when they can be investing in their family futures.
Yes, yeah. And I think when it comes to money, Igor, the American public, they seem to really be ignorant of the whole process, and they're so intimidated by the court system that they're just scared to be taken to court. But what you're saying is you can help them avoid all of that, and
live free.
They won't have to. Yeah, they won't have to be afraid of that anymore. The banker really, and the credit card companies, all of them, they really hold people hostage through fear, don't they?
Yes, and the courts are accomplice to this. They actually, the judges are on a payroll, I believe, of the state, and the state is getting their money from the Federal Reserve. So who are the judges really representing? Often we have clients, who do want to attempt to fight it in court just for the kick of it, and they have strong proofs, and they end up losing because the judge simply does not want to accept their arguments. And there's not much they can do but appeal, and that costs more money. So it's basically the system just sucks you in. It's geared against you from the very beginning. And the only way I see out of it is just to break free completely from that and protect yourself.
So one of the key ingredients that you are proposing in your system is just to avoid the court civil system altogether.
That's my view on that. I mean, everyone has to make their own decision. I don't want to give them financial advice. Each person is responsible ultimately for their decisions. But if you want to make a decision for freedom, you can't play by the rules of a game that's meant to enslave you. In other words, you have to play by the rules of freedom. And if that means to break your debt chains and announce you're an abolitionist, let's say, you don't want to continue this slavery, which is actually against the U.S. Constitution if you think about it. I believe it's the 14th Amendment, if I'm not mistaken, the 13th, that there shall be no involuntary servitude in the United States.
Yes.
And so what do you call creating money out of thin air and making people work for it to pay it back?
Yeah, what do you call that, folks? That's great. And Igor, just to inform everybody, you're from originally from another country. Which is it?
Yeah, I'm from Belarus. It's a small country near Poland and Ukraine.
Yeah.
And my parents came here for better life a while ago, but it's still a communist nation there.
Yeah. Now, are you kind of shocked to see this nation decline in freedom and start to go the way of maybe Belarus?
No, I don't feel like returning back to Belarus is going to be much better because, you see, America was grounded in the principles of freedom, and if there is a chance anywhere, it's here to restore that, to gain that back. Most European countries were not grounded in those principles. They started as monarchies or dictatorships and so on. So people really don't see the difference to compare freedom to slavery over there. They're just happy that they have food and they have a shelter, and as long as it doesn't get worse, they're okay. That's what they pray for every day, for it not to get worse. In America, it's different because people are striving to progress, to become better, and to defend their freedoms. That's the difference. So there's more action here than there would ever be there, I believe.
Wow. Well, that's nice to hear, and I think that we have become way too apathetic, but that is true as far as the principles of this nation. We have always in the past strived to make a better life for our children than what we have, and I think we're starting to lose the grip a bit, but if we just grab a hold and start using some very sound, fundamental tactics such as what you're teaching here, I think we will taste freedom like never before. Hey, Igor, I was at your website, of course, and you have a free consultation there. How long does this process take? Because some people, they're thinking about time. Is this going to take days? Or the whole process, is it going to take a couple of years? How much on the phone are they going to have time-wise? Are they going to spend with your consultation staff?
Yeah, well, we're very custom with each person. I mean, we take whatever time we need to understand the unique situation. It can be 20 minutes. It can be up to an hour sometimes that my assistants spend on the phone genuinely trying to understand. It's very important because there's many different facets that go into a person's financial situation. And, if you miss something, you might not come up with the right strategy to help them. So our company has different strategies, depending on their situation. Now, as far as how long the program takes, it usually, if you want to speak about asset protection, where we protect the person's money and property, that takes a few weeks to set up. As far as to cancel the debt and to challenge the debt, also restore the credit, that can take 6 to 12 months. So it's a very short time if you consider how long you've been in debt and how beneficial it would be to come out.
Absolutely. Now, is this, Igor, is this legal? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people thinking, I don't know about this.
Yes, it's a great question, and I'll ask another question in return. Is that legal
let's do that.
Doing to us?
Yeah, Igor, let's wait until we get right back after the break. I'm sorry. We'll be back in just 3 minutes.